Hi, this is Erin Trail with Engearment.com. Today we're here to talk about the Kitworks organizational system. So let's get into it. Okay, so Kitworks is a new company. They are out of Bend, Oregon. I met them at the Overlander Expo last August, and they are pretty new to the market. I feel like they just launched November, December last year, so they're coming up on a year in business, and they have some really great solutions for organization management. You kind of look at it on the surface and you're like, oh, it's a tote, it's a duffel. How is this really new? Well, I've got several totes and duffels. I'm in my garage, which is where we do a lot of bike work. We do a lot of our bike storage. I can pretty quickly pull out a couple of competition items just to show the differences. But I've been using this Gearworks package since mid-September, so about a month. I had 2 mountain bike festivals in my van, and as you know, like, van life is pretty limited in terms of space, and you have to be really organized or else things kind of get lost. And then you add it with a mountain bike festival where there is a lot going on. You're riding back-to-back days. There's a lot of things going on within the bikes, outside of bikes, especially with Rome Fest, where there were just like a bunch of activities on top of just biking. And it's really easy for your van just to turn easily into chaos, especially when you add a second person to the van. I admittedly am not the neatest person. Especially when I get busy, I'm very much more like, oh, what's the next thing? And I forget to put things away, and then I can't find things the next day when I want to ride. So this Kitworks system was actually really incredible in that it kept me organized throughout 3 days of Rome Fest chaos, and then 2 weeks later, another weekend at Outer Bike Moab with my husband. And so what makes this so special? It's really purpose-built to be flexible for exactly whatever you need. And so how do they do that? It's a completely modular system. It's all really, really robust. I'll get in here really close with the camera, but I do want to show just like, this thing is really pretty sturdy, heavy-duty plastic vinyl, and I just want to throw it on the ground because it lands with a pretty impressive solid thunk that I think just shows how robust the system is. Bam. So let me get the camera and then I'll kind of walk you through the setup and what I've got. Okay, so first up here, we've got the Kitworks duffel. And this has been kind of my mainstay, what I've been going in and out of for multiple weekends of mountain bike festivals and just weekday riding, weekend riding. And this thing has kept me super organized. So first of all, there's a lot of really good purpose-built pockets. You can do a ton of things here. So we've got this great little outside pocket where right now I've just got the straps that came with it so I don't lose the straps. You've got this really great little Velcro where you can put a label on it. It's got these little strips where you can customize it and strap things to the top. These handles, it's got end handles and side handles, so it's really choose your own adventure on how you want to carry it. And then it also came with backpack straps. I've got the backpack strap stowed away somewhere safe because I haven't needed to put this into backpack mode. And if you're just using it as a tote, the straps kind of get in the way, so I've got the straps just safe where if we fly and I bring this bag, I can use that. So then here's kind of where the magic is and how this thing keeps me organized. So there are some built-in pockets, but then there are a lot of customizations that you can do. So kind of what I've done with these up pockets, I've got my tools. So I've got my little multi-tool bag that I put in my hydration pack on rides. I've got some lube. I've got my battery operated pump. And then on the inside, again, this is the cool thing, choose your own adventure. So how I've got it set up comes with these really great dividers that just connect here to the inside of the bag and the bottom. And so they're pretty robust dividers. And then they've also got pockets, which are really great. So this is big enough here. When it was me and my friend at Rome Fest, I could actually put 2 helmets and 1 pair of glasses in the side pocket, which was great. This is a really fun feature where this is a nice little bag that snaps closed, but then it is also waterproof. So if you've got something nasty, muddy, or whatever, that's what this bag is for. So it's been really great just for popping my shoes. These little storage bags, also really handy. You can Velcro them with a label if you like. So this is actually my mountain bike pads. So that way they're all nice and organized. Slots in there really great. And then this last little compartment, again, these are totally customizable with all these interior connections onto how big you want these dividers to be. But so I've got just a hip pack, and then I've got another larger bag, and I've got my rain gear in there. So it is all nice and safe, and everything has a home. And so what was really great was when I was in the thick of Rome Fest, if I needed to, I don't know, swap out shoes, swap out gear, put stuff away for the day, I would just automatically, everything had a home. So that meant I didn't have to go and search for it, go, where the heck did I put my shoes? Where the heck did I put my gloves? The nice other thing I want to point about these dividers is these pockets. And so they become really handy for, I put gloves in here. You can put a pack in here. They're double-sided, which is also really nice. Actually, they're not double-sided. I just put one of these dividers on so I had more pocket options. So up next, we have the Kitworks tote bag. And so I think, again, what makes this bag really special is that it is completely modular. So you can make it accommodate a whole variety of situations. I've got it set up in ski mode. I am really hoping that it starts snowing here soon. But what I have been using this bag specifically for over the past month is for my kitchen food dry storage bag. So that is anything that doesn't fit in a refrigerator. We have been doing a lot of weekend van lives for festivals. And so I've got, usually what I do is I just use the reusable grocery bags, and I kind of have two different bags based on what's in them. One is more for snacks. One is more for kind of daily food sort of things, or nutritional supplement bins, containers that are kind of big. They don't really fit so well. They seem to fall over. They're tall, so you can't see the bottom. They're just generally kind of annoying, and they worked, but they weren't really great. So when I got this tote, I thought I would set it up just to see as dry storage for my kitchen, and it's actually been really awesome. So I ended up using the dry bag for more snacks. So this little dry bag, it's great because it just clips in here. I'll get some close-up shots of it a little bit later in this review, but the dry bag just held, so like chips, snacks. I'm into the Nerds clusters. Those just disappear like there's nothing. But any kind of little snacky thing, because the cool thing is you just take that little bag out, and then you take it to your picnic table, and then you can set up a little picnic with your friends after riding at camp. And then the other side, I had more like bread, bagels, supplements, and things. The nice thing is that this tote isn't so tall that things get lost. Like I'm standing here and I can easily see the bottom of it through my ski boots. I didn't find that I had to dig a whole lot to find things, and having it divided in more like snacks and then functional things helped me keep it all really organized. The other thing that really won me over was that this thing fits perfectly between the two front seats of my van. I've got a Dodge ProMaster, and often coming back from our big weekends, it's got a 5, 6, 7, 8 hour drive home, and we get really snacky and hungry as we're stuck in I-70 nightmare traffic. This fits perfectly between the two seats, and then we're still able to step over it and get into the back of the van really easily if we need to. So this really won me over, mostly on that function. The bottom of it is really nice and sturdy, just like the duffel. It holds its shape pretty well. It's got a variety of straps. I really like this little shoulder one. This fits me really well. It's easy to hold, feels pretty comfortable. And then the bottom of it, again, is reinforced and nice and sturdy, so then I can put it on top of other bins in the van. It doesn't topple over, and I know that it's going to stay put throughout our travels in the van. Let me give you a close-up and show you all the options that come with this modular setup. So up close, we've got the Kitworks tote bag. And again, it's got these modular little MOLLE straps on the outside where you can take, I've actually got one, and take some of their functionality that's on their website. So you can get these as add-ons, and they just clip on one, just nicely little straps in, and then it Velcros on the bottom side. They've got a variety of ones that you can use. There's this double one. There's one that's about 2/3 as long with just one big pocket. So these just fit on the outside. These I just put in like little spices, koozies, whatever when I was in kitchen mode. Ski mode, I'm gonna try out just goggles, goggle lenses, maybe some of my mittens and gloves. I don't know, we'll just kind of see what works. Then on the inside, there's also a couple of pockets. So we've got this nice little zipper pocket here. On the other side, we've got this little Velcro fold strap, which is also really nice. They're pretty big and generous pockets. And again, on the inside, it's all configurable for how you want things to be set up. So I just want to highlight the inside. So we've got these bigger little straps. That's really intended for this waterproof bag here. And then if you want, you can take these bags and you can put them on the inside if you want. My only complaint about this is that this kind of collapses in the middle, which is a little annoying. And that was just, I think, a function of how it was shipped. Maybe over time it'll start to hold its shape out. The other kind of complaint that I have is that you can get a divider for the duffel bag, and they say that it will work for the tote, but it's not really great. It's a little undersized. It didn't really stay in very well. It's definitely more custom made for the duffel, and then it seemed like for the tote that it was kind of it'll work, but it only for me worked sort of. So for a divider, I ended up using this waterproof bag, which is great, but it doesn't really hold its shape on the inside. Minor complaint. And then we've got also these little clips here, which I think is just to help keep everything locked in secure. I haven't found that I really need a use for those, so they just kind of get in the way. I just tuck them in, and then they don't really get in the way, but it just seems like for me kind of an ancillary thing. I would rather have a hard divider that was purpose built for this than those little top security clips. So that is kind of my take on the Kitworks tote. So that's it. That is my review of the Kitworks organizational system. We've got the tote, we've got the duffel. These are available online at their website or at select REI stores. Really take a look at them. They're a small company. They really know what they're doing. It was developed by athletes, tested by athletes on their own internal system. And I really think that they have just really made really excellent products that allow athletes to organize their systems in a way that makes sense for them. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time.